September 21st, 1992. English rock band Radiohead were about to launch their debut single. Earlier that year they had released an EP, Drill, which featured 4 songs, 3 of which ended up on their debut album. But Drill drew little attention in the end. So Radiohead, along with producers Sean Slade and Paul Q. Caldery, worked on songs at Chipping Norton Recording Studio, which was located in Oxfordshire, the band's home county. Songs such as Lurgy and Inside My Head came out of these sessions, but between rehearsals, a song written in the late 80s by Tom York while he attended Exeter University was spontaneously performed. Creep. Slade and Caldery initially thought it was a cover. Too bad the best song's a cover. But after a performance that made everyone rain applause onto the band, and then reassuring Caldery that it was original, EMI released it as their first ever single. And it initially had some success, selling 6,000 copies and reaching 78 on the UK single charts. But BBC Radio 1, one of the premier stations in the UK, found Creep too depressing, and it faded into obscurity for the most part. The next 2 singles, Anyone Can Play Guitar and Pop Is Dead, also failed to leave a mark. But this man, Yov Kutner, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, had a big part to do in the song's now international recognition. In late 1992, he often played Creep on Israeli radio stations. It quickly became a national hit. The band set up tour dates to capitalise on the newfound success, and suddenly it began to get success in other nations, New Zealand, Spain and Scandinavian countries. But after it was added to an alternative rock radio playlist in San Francisco, it surprisingly became a hit in California, and Radiohead added to this success when they made a clean version for stations to more comfortably play. You're so very special. By mid-1993, it had become an alt-rock hit across the states. By this time, the song had launched their debut album Pablo Honey to success, and while the album has received middling reviews from critics and myself, it has sold almost 2 million copies internationally, a lot of which is to do with the lead single. After a reluctant reissue of the single in the UK, it reached number 7, and from then on, the song has become huge. With more than 1.5 billion streams on Spotify, more than double the second most, the song has an aura surrounding it. From the first note, it is instantaneously recognisable. Considering it was their first ever single, the fact that it's still by far the most known song and one still in common rotation 20 years past this release is nothing but shocking. But Radiohead are absolutely not one-hit wonders. Over their 9 studio albums and many singles, their sound has evolved from alt-rock to melancholic rock to electronic rock, all the way to just pure melancholia. But their fans have stuck with them the entire time. But one question has been left after all their success. Is Creep Radiohead's legacy? But I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. Yes and no. Creep is an instantly iconic song. So many parts of it came together to create such a memorable and beautiful alternative rock song. As soon as it hits, the beautiful peaceful guitar. The drums are calming. York's voice is quiet, unlike a lot of the grunge at the time. When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel, your skin makes me cry. The narrative he sings is of unrequited love. It's of an inebriated man who tries to get the attention of a woman who he is attracted to, him constantly following her around but lacking the confidence to actually interact with her. The chorus is completely opposite to the verses as well. Dead notes lead way to the explosion and energy that the chorus brings. And as soon as that's over, it's back to quiet and calm. Back to the same as before. The incel album of the 90s continues after the second verse with a stunning bridge. showing off York's range. This is the easiest part of Radiohead's discography to point out when people say that York can't sing. And after this part is over, we get to an even calmer than before outro, going to a slow variant of the chorus to close out their song.
But I'm a creep, I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
It's easily explainable why this song is popular. It's edgy, it's memorable in style and substance. The lyrics are simple but also tell a tale. And most importantly, alternative rock and grunge were very popular at the time. You have to remember this was released the year after Nirvana blew up with Smells Like Teen Spirit. But Radiohead have certainly made better. Whether you look to one of the best alt-rock albums ever, the follow-up to Pablo Honey the Bends, with such great songs as Street Spirit, Fade Out, Fake Plastic Trees, the title track, and My Iron Lung, which was literally written about Creep having a chokehold on their careers.
This is our new song, just like the last one. A total waste of time. My iron lung.
Simultaneously keeping their dream alive, but also being a song the band quite frankly didn't like, leading to them to cease performing it in 1997 during the OK Computer tour. But even on the charts, it isn't their biggest song anymore. Street Spirit Fade Out took the number 5 spot in the UK, meaning it's officially their best performing song. This also does mean that, yes, one of the greatest bands of all time, Radiohead, don't have a number 1 song. But I think another reason the song is so infamous is due to the band's feelings towards it. In 1993, York told Rolling Stone, "It's like it's not our song anymore. Feels like we're doing a cover." During a lot of performances, fans would chant for Creep and then immediately leave after it. This obviously led the band to resent the song. As previously mentioned, they even made a song referencing their disdain towards it. But once the band was huge with the release of OK Computer 1997, which is by far their best-selling album, featuring singles such as Paranoid Android, Karma Police and No Surprises, they were finally big enough to stop playing the song. It took until 2001, at their homecoming concert, for them to finally bust out the track again. And then once again after that, they went silent on the song, basically never performing it as massive albums and evolutions in their sound came and went. In 2009, they finally performed it again as their opening song to Reading. And then 7 more years. And then in their Moonshaped Pool tour, they brought it out again. They headlined Glastonbury the same year, and it was the encore for that too. I think a big thing with the song for them is they get to choose if they want to play it. Every member of the band is now in their 50s. This isn't a young man's game anymore. They've matured as artists, they've matured their sound and made a massive collection of songs, some of which I could consider my favourite songs ever, from Exit Music for a Film, from OK Computer, to Jigsaw Falling into Place from In Rainbows. Their discography is full of popular and acclaimed songs, but none are as instantly recognised when performed as Creep is. And with Radiohead's success, they can choose when to play it. The fans seem to like it, and while the band hated it, it seems to have become a sweet song for them now. And as they don't even perform much anymore, with their last show being back in 2018, and their second band, The Smile, being their current focus, it doesn't seem like the song is that burned out to them anymore, considering they've only played it a handful of times since 2000. But Creep is their legacy. As much as some fans, including myself, don't want it to be, yes, Radiohead will primarily be remembered for Creep. But not only for Creep. It's the first song that will come to a lot of people's heads, but then they might think, oh yeah, do you remember Karma Police? What about High and Dry? Didn't they make OK Computer? People love that album, don't they? Creep is what will get the conversation going, but everything else will be what keeps it going. And honestly, is that so bad? An admittedly great alt-rock song that grips people and makes them want to go and listen to OK Computer or Kid A. It's an introduction to the band, and a good one at that. Despite them clearly making songs throughout their career better, Radiohead are my favourite band ever, and Creep is a good song. What else is there to say?